What's up, guys? Kurt Stubbs here with Ohio High School Hoops. You can follow us on X at OhioHS Hoops. You can also see all of our content on the gram, as the cool kids say. Today we are going to break down Division 5 for you. Last week we did a full deep dive on Division 4, which you can go back and check that out on our YouTube page, along with our Division 1, 2, and 3 breakdown. But if you haven't seen those yet, the 1, 2, and 3 breakdown we did was prior to the brackets being released. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Still a lot of great content in that video. If you go to our YouTube page, please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that the cool people do or say. We would really appreciate that, and hopefully we're providing some good content for you. All right, let's get this thing tipped off. All right, Division 5, Region 17, the Canton Fieldhouse region. We've got Lutheran East and Richmond Heights, and then we have Canton Central Catholic. I do feel like Lutheran East and Richmond Heights are a little bit, there's a little bit of a separation between those two teams and Canton Central Catholic, but Central Catholic, man, the way that they play together offensively and defensively, their team defense is exceptional. They played a really good schedule. I know they got buried pretty good by Richmond Heights earlier in the year, but you just never know come tournament time. Although I do think Richmond Heights is doing kind of what they did last year, and they're starting to hit their stride at the right time. Lutheran East, another team, super talented, but they're young, so they're going to be around for a while. All right, bracket busters in Region 17. Creston Norwayne's had a really good year. I think they only have 2 losses. LaGrange Keystone is led in scoring by a sophomore and a freshman, so they're going to be around for a while. Crestwood, another team that is mascotted as the Red Devils. Fairview Park, Fairview, the home of Michael Roth. North Lima South Range, nope, you are in the right place. This is not football. And then Poland Seminary, a team that was long in Division 2 in the old format, with a ton of success under former head coach Ken Grisdale, but now they are in Division 5, so keep an eye on the Bulldogs. All right, Division 5, Region 18, the Mansfield Senior Region. 3 teams out of Central Ohio here. Harvest Prep, Columbus Academy, Columbus Afrocentric. Kind of stinks. All 3 of these teams are very deserving of winning a regional this year. Columbus Academy's kind of been at it for a while. A lot of these kids, were playing as freshmen and sophomore. Harvest Prep, man, so much experience in the tournament. And Afrocentric, man, they've had a really good year. Just recently lost the City League Championship to Northland, but what a great season for Coach Mike Bates. And then 2 Northwest teams, Liberty Benton, who just lost this past weekend to unbeaten Patrick Henry, so no shame in that. And then Castilla Margareta, somebody go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong on that. The Polar Bears, I believe only are still sitting with that 1 loss that they had to Canton Central Catholic, and that was a neutral floor game at Smithville. All right, Division 5, Region 18, bracket busters, Bishop Reedy. Milford Center Fairbanks. What a great season they've had. Really good neutral court win over Monroe Central. Defiance Tenora, Genoa, and Huron. Bracket busters in Region 18. Keep an eye on those teams. All right, Division 5, Region 19. 6 teams here I have listed, and I'm just not sold that there is a team that is clearly better than anyone else here. I think you have a lot of really good teams here. Minford has a ton of experience. Recent 2,000-point scorer, Miles Montgomery. They also have a high-level Division II kid, Bennett Kaiser. Coshocton's had a really good year. 2 losses to Maysville. Recent loss to Division III Tri-Valley, so nothing to sneeze at there. Garraway always plays a tough schedule. Really like their guard, Blaine Raber. Think he's really underrated. Got to see the last half of Fairland and Chesapeake this past week. What a great game that was. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think those two teams have played 2 overtime games this year. So not a whole lot of separation between those teams. Really like the Buchanan kid from Fairland. The sophomore at Chesapeake is really, really good if you haven't seen him. And then the 6th team I have listed here is my alma mater, the St. Clairsville Red Devils. They have struggled a little bit down the stretch here. Got a big win at home over D3 Steubenville. And then, had a tough game against a subpar Harrison Central team that they ended up winning. Go and lose to Wheeling Park, and then lose their OVAC game their OVAC semifinal game to Cambridge. But they did bounce back. Tough road game, traveling to Beaver Local, got that done. As an alum, I'm just kind of hoping that they didn't peak too soon. But I do think that they potentially cause a matchup problem for a lot of these teams with Griffin Straub and Tyson Pastor. But they have to be able to get it together, start playing the way they were a couple weeks ago. And I think this team could be very dangerous in this region with those two guys. But I could see this region going any different way here of any of these 6 teams I've listed. And then there's, 5 teams that aren't that far behind. You have Union Local, who beat St. Clairsville at UL. And then I think they went to overtime at St. Clairsville, with St. Clairsville winning. Martins Ferry just lost to Union Local, but a couple weeks ago they beat St. Clairsville at St. Clairsville pretty handily. Ironton, obviously, man, they would be on this other page had Sean Terry not left early for Missouri. That would have been a huge, huge help to the Tigers. Zane Trace, and then Sardinia Eastern Brown. All right. This is not a mistake. Division 5, Region 20, the Dayton Fairborn High School region. Listen, I think this is Cincinnati Summit Country Day's region to lose. I just don't see anybody on their level. Does that mean that they are absolutely going to win this region? No, sure doesn't. If you haven't seen the freshman Max Joyner yet, make sure you do that. Kevin Johnson's doing a really good job with this team. Former Cincinnati Summit Country Day standout, who went on to play at Cincinnati, won a state title at Summit Country Day back in 2012. My guy Corey Albertson, assistant coach on this staff. They have had to forfeit a couple of games. But let's make it known that this had nothing to do with the coaching staff, Kevin Johnson or anybody. This was above them. Those guys are doing a great job, and I do think that this team is the clear-cut favorite here. Whole host of teams here is possible bracket busters. You got Versailles out of the Midwest Athletic Conference, Cincinnati Purcell Marion, Dayton Christian. We have Cincinnati Oiler. We have Clark Montessori. Carlisle, a team that is red hot right now. They were a team that I expected was going to be very good this year, and they are definitely coming on down the stretch here. We also have Waynesville, the Spartans. Keep an eye on them as well. And then Cincinnati Seven Hills. So a lot of teams here. I have like 8 teams listed here that could be potential bracket busters. All right, here are the 3 teams that I think can win a state championship in Division 5. Lutheran East, Richmond Heights, Cincinnati Summit Country Day. If I had to make a pick right now, I'd probably say Richmond Heights. I feel like they're really hitting their peak right now and playing their best basketball heading into the tournament. But they're going to have a super tough region with Lutheran East, Canton Central Catholic. And then, the other three teams that I considered were the three Central Ohio teams, Columbus Academy, Harvest Prep, and Columbus Afrocentric. I probably could have very easily put those three teams on this list. I just felt like maybe these three teams were just a notch above those. But wouldn't be surprised if one of those three teams make a run. But these are the three teams I'm rolling with right now. And if I had to make a pick, it would be Richmond Heights right now.